National Anthem is the new movie by Luke Gilford. Luke is a New York City-based photographer, and this is his first movie. It is based off a monogram that he did in 2020, also called National Anthem. The monogram focused on a collection of photographs with queer ranchers, and pretty much that is the subject of this movie as well. We follow Charlie Plummer. He's this 21-year-old named Dylan. He works odd jobs and does manual labor, construction work, and he brings in about half, if not more, of the income for his household. The mom has this addiction to being social and drinking and neglects the youngest sibling in this household. But things change for him when he accepts a job coming to this ranch, and upon entry, he can tell that it's a little more alternative from what he is used to. But he soon realizes it is like a queer commune, and he is interested as they welcome him in. And yeah, like this movie is basically like a spiritual experience for him coming out of his shell and finding a community that accepts him and wants to be themselves. Pretty clear the more blue-collar work that Dylan does in this movie is usually perceived as pretty masculine or even a little homophobic. Like in the beginning of this movie, these construction workers are like talking about women in some way, and of course the main guy doesn't want to like listen in on any of that. But when watching this movie, at its best, I like to think it shows that we're not all that different, and it looks really beautiful. It's shot in 35mm, and it's just high saturation. It's immersive. You really do feel like you're in the middle of New Mexico. And tonally, it has this frankness to it that reminds me of like Larry Clark almost. Like I kept thinking of like Marfa Girl. Also, Andrea Arnold. I kept thinking of a bunch of comparisons with American Honey. The love dynamic in this movie is a lot like the one on American Honey. There's even a scene where the protagonist enters a department store and comes across the ranchers, and they are like loitering and, you know, running around. And it has really good music too. There's like almost a Kurt Weill sound to some of the songs here. There's also ambient breaks and some dreamy stuff. Like, as a package, this movie just looks and feels and sounds great. And our main character, Dylan, is performed very gracefully by Charlie Plummer. And for a very queer movie like this, there are no keywords. Like, I don't think anyone says the word gay at all this whole movie. And there's not even like a scene of conflict that happens over the main character coming out. I feel like that was only once a cliche. It's great that it's not there anymore, but I will say a lot of this movie, especially in the second half, like you're able to kind of tell where it's going to go. It becomes way less of a story about a community and identity and more of this first love story. There's also this subplot with the little brother, which I just don't even know why that had to be in the movie. Didn't really amount to much at the end. There was also no internal conflict with Dylan and what he was doing. But I gotta say, this movie had some Kino on it, for sure. I would give National Anthem a 7.1. It is released by LD Entertainment, and it is in select theaters now. Thank you for watching.